Hey everyone, welcome back to Endless Money Pits. This is a 2001 Ford Taurus, and today I'll show you how to replace the thermostat and coolant temperature sensor. The procedure should be the same for all Ford Tauruses and Mercury Sables made from 2000 through 2007 with the 3-liter V6 engine. Ford says you should check the coolant level every 6 months and flush the system every 3 years or 45,000 miles, whichever comes first. A friend of mine bought this car for $800 and it's on its last legs, so don't blame me for what you're about to see. Some of this footage is from a video I did on flushing the coolant, so make sure to check out that video too. Here are the tools that I used for this job. Breaker bar, socket wrench, socket extension, 19mm socket, 10mm socket, 5/16 socket, universal socket joint, and channel locks. For this job I also needed some coolant to top off the system, a thermostat, coolant temperature sensor, gasket maker specifically for cooling systems, a razor blade, steel wool, and a funnel. I started by disconnecting the battery since I'm working right next to the positive terminal. It's a little safer to disconnect the negative terminal, but either one will work. Slide this hose clamp down and disconnect the hose from the thermostat housing. You might need to twist the hose to break it free. Nothing came out because I already drained the coolant. Remove the 3 10mm bolts securing the thermostat housing. I used a breaker bar to get them started. These bolts are so rusty, one of them broke off inside the engine, so I'll need to make a run to the hardware store to find some new ones. The thermostat should fall right out when you pull off the housing. Unplug the coolant temperature sensor and replace it using a 19mm deep socket. We'll need to scrape off all the old gasket material before we can install the new thermostat. I used a razor blade and steel wool to make sure I got everything. Clear away the debris when you're done. This gasket maker is designed specifically for cooling systems. Make sure there's an even coat all the way around the openings on both mating surfaces. The instructions on this product say to let it cure for 3 minutes before reassembly, but double check the instructions on the gasket maker that you bought. The thermostat has to be installed this way, with the spring side facing the engine, and with this tiny valve at the 12 o'clock position. I couldn't remove that rusty bolt that broke off, so we're installing the thermostat on this hoopty with 2 bolts. Slip the radiator hose back on and put the hose clamp back into position. Plug in the coolant temperature sensor and reconnect the battery. The last thing we need to do is start the engine, let it get up to temperature so the thermostat opens, and refill the coolant reservoir when the level drops. Make sure to buy pre-mixed coolant or mix it yourself 50-50 with distilled water. When the coolant level is stable at the full mark, close the hood because we're done. That concludes this week's video. If you like my videos, consider supporting me on Patreon or donating on PayPal. I'm like a starving artist, dude. As always, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below letting me know what you'd like to see next. And until next time, just keep throwing money at it.